Okay, hi. It's Delaney, your writing fellow. So this is basically a video where I'm going to show you how to use Refworks. Refworks is something that's free. We pay for it through our tuition, but it's available through the library services. I'm going to show you how to access it and how to log in and create your account and everything. But I'm also going to show you how to cite a resource using Refworks. It's an automated citation machine. It's kind of like Noodlebib or EasyBib or any of those types of resources that you might have used in high school or of your own volition for previous classes, but it's so much more reliable. You have to do so much less work. I will use it to create an entire works cited page, minimal corrections, and I can like sleep easy after I've turned my essay in at 11:59 on the day that it's due. So I think that it's something that saved me countless hours. It's saved me penalties for due dates. It's super beneficial and super helpful. And I find that a lot of times for the first meeting that I have with people, we're talking about citations and how to research. I already have a video made of how to effectively research using peer-reviewed sources through both the UNE Library Services database as well as using Google Scholar. I will also include that in whatever email I send this to you in, but it will also have a home on my blog, which is my WordPress page through UNE, and it just has like a tab called Writing Fellows, and all of my resources are in there. We're going to start with the UNE Library Services page, and we're going to say no thanks. We're going to go to Databases, and then Research Help is this tab. Under Help with Citations, you're going to go to Refworks. There are also all of these style guides if you feel like you don't want to use the machine and you want to cite it yourself. So then it just opens you to the Refworks page. I already obviously have an account. I've used it for the 3.5 years that I've been at UNE. But if you don't have one, then you're going to need to create an account. You'll just enter your UNE institutional email. It'll check, and then you'll have to go through, create a password. It's going to validate your email. So you'll have to open it up in your UNE email, click the link, and then it'll create the account for you. So I already have the account, so I'm going to log in. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to email me. We can Zoom really quickly. You can share your screen and I can walk you through it. So clearly I have a lot of citations. I've used this a lot. This is how Refworks will look when you first open it, except for you won't have any of these if it's a new page. I always make a folder for whatever assignment I have. So for this one, I'm going to add a folder that's called Writing Fellows. And then this folder is going to be down here. So I'm just going to keep Refworks open because eventually all of my references that I'm going to export from JSTOR, ScienceDirect, Elsevier, any of the reputable sources that will populate in the UNE database, they're going to come over here to my Refworks page, and I'm going to be able to click on all of them and create a works cited page. Now I'm going to go back. I am going to click on this link. It's already open over here though. This is whatever Viking ships is the topic that I'm researching for right now. And it just shows up like this. So this is on ProQuest. I already filtered this search by scholarly and peer review, so I don't have to worry about that. I want to make sure I have access to the full text PDF before I export it, because otherwise I'm just going to be exporting an abstract and that's not going to help me at all. And I do, which is great. So this looks like it has all the information I need for my fake assignment. And I'm just going to click this little cite button over here. You could just copy and paste this, choose whatever you want over here, and copy and paste it onto your citation page and then alphabetically organize it yourself. If you're using Refworks, it's really easy to just click Export to Citation Manager or File, click the Refworks button. This is going to pop up. It's going to say Output to Refworks, yes, Content, Citation, Abstract Indexing, that's all fine. And then you're just going to continue. If it says it's not secure, it's fine. Just send anyways, because it's creating a pop-up. So I have those blocked, that's all. Then it's going to ask continue exporting to Refworks. And then yes, you want to export to the newest version of Refworks. There is this legacy version of Refworks. It's an old version. It's honestly not as good, so I wouldn't use it, but if you want to use it, you can. And then if you don't want this to pop up every single time, just click don't ask me this again, and then say yes, export to the newest version of Refworks. And then you can assign it to a folder here. So I'm going to assign it to the Writing Fellows folder. I'm going to import it. And then it's here. So the other good thing about this, and this will be especially helpful for the anthropology class where you're all creating a document together, you can share any of these folders. So you can just click share a folder, choose my folder, let's say Writing Fellows, and then I could create a public URL so anyone can see the contents, or I could invite people just through their emails, and I can say that they can modify it. It's really helpful when you're working on group projects, I've found, because then you don't have to ask people what they found. You just all create it on the same page. At the end, you just all copy and paste it into the Google Doc that you're working on. So I'm going to click on this, create a bibliography. Whatever you're using, it might be MLA, it might be Chicago. You can just go through and search and then choose whichever one is appropriate. So if you're using Chicago 15th edition author date system, you can always ask your professor for citation system you're using, or it will be in your syllabus. But for Dr. A, you can always ask him because it's kind of fluid. And then you can just copy in this, or you can copy to your clipboard, and then you can open a document and paste it. Super easy. The only thing I would check, just because sometimes it can be a little bit different, is I would just make sure all of these things are correct, which you can just scan through. And as long as it's not like outrageous, you'll gain a pretty good sense of whether or not it's correct. So if the published date said this number, the ISSN instead, you would know that something is wrong and that it exported incorrectly. And so you'd have to go through, check those things, and you can just, it's super easy. You just click this little pencil up here and you can edit all of it. If you have a resource that, for instance, is a physical book and you don't have a virtual version that you can export it, you can just add a reference, create new reference, choose whatever it is. So let's say book, and then you just fill in everything. It's super easy. Okay, so I'm going to show you a couple other ones from a couple other databases. So this is from Taylor and Francis Online, which is a different database, which is great. So over here, it's not like entirely clear how you export this. There's no like specific export place. There is this citations tab, which is misleading. So this is just subscribe to citation update. So it means any of the citations that they have, if there are updates on that material, then that's where it's going to be. What you want to click is download citation right here. And then you're going to choose the format. So for Refworks, if you want to download it and upload it, which I'll show you how to do here, it's going to be RIS. You want to download that file. You're going to download the citations. If you wanted to export it directly, that's also an option here. You're just going to click this one right down here. Send it anyway. You're going to want to put it in Writing Fellows. And okay. I'm going to close out my other Refworks tabs because it does create a lot of them. So now I have both of those in here. And I'm also going to show you how to import the RIS file that we downloaded. So I'm going to go to my Finder, my downloads. It's this one with .ris at the end. Abbott Labs is fine. And then you're going to import it, assign it to the folder just like normal, and it's just like direct exporting. You just download the file onto your computer and then upload it from there. So that's the only difference instead of it directly exporting. Okay, so we're done with this one. And that's the great thing is you can close out the tabs. You don't have to have all of these tabs open because you can just open it right here. It'll find the full text and it'll open here. So that's one of the best things about it, I think, is if nothing else, it's just a place to save your citations that you found for this project that you're going to be working on for weeks. You don't want to keep those tabs open for that long. So by being able to save them all here, and I'm just going to delete one of these so we don't have doubles. By being able to keep them all here, it makes it so much easier to find them. So we're going to do one more, and I'm going to go to the databases for this. I just want to show you on JSTOR because that's one that you'll probably be using quite a bit. If not in this class, in other classes, it's a really comprehensive source. So we're going to search Viking ships over here. Again, that's a pretty bad search. I don't know if I said this in this video. This is my second or third try here. That's a pretty bad search, but I do have that other video that I've already mentioned that talks about how to search through the UNE databases effectively to find what you're looking for. So I'm just going to click this one. I just want to read it before I cite it because I want to make sure that it has something that I'm going to be able to use. It looks like it does. And I'm going to cite this item. So here, this is going to pop up. You can export to anything. You can export as an RIS file like we just learned about, or you can export to Refworks. That's what I'm going to click because that's the easiest to me. I'm going to do the same thing, put it in a folder, and import it. Okie dokie. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to just show you how to create the citation page. So I'm back on Refworks. I click up here, select all on this page, or if you just wanted to select a few, you could also do that if you had a couple that you didn't end up using, but you exported to Refworks. I do that all the time. But let's say we used all of them in our paper. Then I'm just going to click this little quotation mark up here. You're just going to create a bibliography. That's it. That's all I got for you. It is a pretty easy process once you start doing it a little bit, but there is a pretty steep learning curve just because there are so many different databases that you can export from. If you have any questions at all, feel free to email me at dcollins11@uni.edu. And that's it.